Artificial intelligence is rapidly transforming higher education, influencing how students research, write, learn, and solve problems. To explore these ideas, Tamara Bell interviews Dr. Hormann and Dr. Clark about how AI is shaping the classroom and preparing students for the future workforce. Let's join Tamara as the conversation begins.
Greetings, hi Seahawks. I'm Tamara Bell, and thank you for joining us for today's conversation. AI is rapidly changing higher education. Tools like Microsoft Copilot, ChatGPT, and various other AI platforms are influencing how students research, study, write, and even problem solve. But beyond the hype and the headlines, the real question is, how is this affecting teaching and learning? And how do we integrate AI where it's not compromising academic integrity? And also, how do we support students in a workforce that is embedded with AI so that they're still independently, critically thinking? These are the questions that we're going to take a closer look at from a faculty perspective. Today, I am joined by Dr. Vanessa Hormann and Dr. Rebecca Clark, and they're going to be focusing on how this looks in the classroom. So welcome. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So before we get started, tell us a little bit about yourself and your role here at Broward College.
Well, I guess I'll start. My name is Vanessa Hormann. I've been teaching at BC close to 20 years now. Yeah, it went fast. I'm in biological sciences at Central Campus, and the majority of my course load is on non-majors biology as well as anatomy and physiology, lectures and courses, all different types of modalities.
Well, hello. My name is Rebecca Clark, and this is my we're almost finishing our 6th year here at BC at Central Campus. I teach in the geosciences field, so geology, earth science, oceanography, and environmental science are my areas of focus.
Wow, thank you so much. From your experience, where have you seen AI tools and meaningful value to teaching and learning? And where do you believe clear boundaries are still necessary?
From my perspective, AI could be both a burden and a blessing in that way. In terms of the academic integrity standpoint, sometimes we find that AI can cause struggles that maybe we wouldn't have faced a long time ago. So from that perspective, it's important for instructors to understand how AI could be used in a negative light in order to help move students in the right direction. But from a positive perspective, it can really aid in research, in incorporating more creativity into learning experiences. And so we're currently exploring ways in which that can actually happen.
And I agree with that. I think we need to step away from the thought that AI is only used as a cheating mechanism for a student and start embracing it, that it could really take the role of a virtual teaching assistant, come help the student better prepare, scaffolding. We have a very diverse student population at BC in many different aspects, including the fact that students are not as prepared as they need to be for certain courses. So AI can help us with scaffolding and with clear instructions and proper training, and of course, setting your expectations and limitations in the course. You can definitely utilize it in your course to enhance critical thinking, not take it away, as many think.
Thank you. How are you guiding students to use AI responsibly in ways that support learning rather than replace critical thinking? You touched a little bit about that, Dr. Hormann.
So in my courses, in my D2L shells, I have a module just giving basic information on AI. BC has an AI-centered website with lots of resources for both faculty and students, so I link it there. I also give students basic instructions on, what is prompting, what AI models we can utilize. I give them sample prompts so that they can start off with the basics, which is, give AI a study guide and tell it, hey, I need to learn a little bit more about this learning outcome. outcome? Can you make a quiz for me? Can you summarize? I'll give you an example. In my anatomy and physiology class, we use a lot of different scientific terminology. One of them, the BSc 2085, which is Anatomy and Physiology Part 1. It's a gen ed course. So although the majority of my students want to go into the medical field, I also have a large percentage that have never taken a science course before. So the scientific terminology and jargon can be overwhelming. So I tell them to go into AI and say, hey, take this concept and simplify it for me. Explain it to me as if I'm starting at, a 7th grade level. If that's too complicated, let's keep on going until we get it down to the basics, and then we build upon that. So clear instructions, and of course, practice makes perfect. So they become more involved with it, and they utilize it more and more and get better at it. What do you think?
There's a few specific ways that I've been incorporating AI, especially this term. For example, we're studying the use of AI as a lab assistant specifically. So we teach earth science lab courses, and one of the lessons, for example, is identifying minerals. Students learn the practices of mineral identification. They go through all of the steps themselves, but then they incorporate AI by inputting the properties that they've already identified. And by already having that critical thinking piece in place, you're not removing that, but now you're asking for feedback from AI by incorporating that as well. And so they have a continued conversation with AI. Another, which I think could apply to any subject, is using AI to increase creativity on an existing project. For example, in a podcasting project, they've inputted their scripts and asked for sound effects and stopping pieces and titles that could be catchier to the listener. So these are ways that AI can enhance the learning experience rather than take out the critical thinking or the other parts that would make it less valuable to the student.
I agree. And if I can also add, it also utilizing AI on a regular basis, we can teach students that AI doesn't always get it right. So hallucinations and incorrect data, it's out there. It's getting better every day, but it's still out there. So part of it is designing activities or assessments where, the student will do part 1 on their own and then input it into AI. And then now the challenge becomes, did AI get it right? And when you catch it, can you correct it? So how do you prompt it? How do you revise it on that?
I love that.
We've been working both collaboratively as well as AI mentors with other professors this semester, trying to just explore ways that AI could be useful in the classroom. We find, I think, particularly, you can find a lot of resources online that are totally free, such as even YouTube video series that show you ways to incorporate AI in the learning environment.
Thank you. As faculty members yourselves, how are you continuing to learn and adapt in this evolving AI landscape? And what support or guidance would be most helpful from the institution?
Well, I think it's fantastic that CTEL has really increased their offering in AI-centered courses. We also have, the AI Institute, the XR Institute, which we've both completed. We have excellent resources when it comes to, up-to-date, what are some utilizations within the classroom, and the fact that it just continues. And then, of course, we can step outside of BC and utilize things like the tuition reimbursement to take some more graduate courses. AI is growing, and I feel like we're running, but it keeps going faster and faster. So I feel supported. And, each semester we have a new challenge, but I feel like we have the resources to meet it.
So coupled with that, in addition to taking advantage of a lot of the CTEL experiences that are offered, I think just there's an individualistic approach in terms of if you want to learn about AI, the resources are out there. You just have to embrace them. I have explored a few teaching tools in particular this semester to figure out ways that AI can even help me in my own profession. It's not necessarily to replace what I do, but to enhance something that already exists. So that could be something like figuring out ways to reach English language learners, figuring out ways to scaffold or tier your instruction to reach learners at all levels, which I know Dr. Hormann was mentioning before, that not all students are at the same level when they enter academically into the institution. And so if you can find ways to reach different level learners, especially ways that you might not have personally thought about before, AI can be really helpful.
Thank you both for joining us for this conversation on AI and how it's reshaping teaching and learning.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this BC online conversation. Today, Tamara Bell guided an important discussion on the growing role of artificial intelligence in higher education alongside Dr. Hormann and Dr. Clark. Together, they explored how tools are influencing teaching, learning, and academic integrity. Thank you for being part of the conversation, and stay tuned for more updates as BC Online continues leading innovation in teaching and learning at Broward College.